Well, Bennett Kessler filed this story. At the Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting last Tuesday, during a break in the intense talk over the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's solar ranch plan south of Independence, Assistant Director of Power System Planning Michael Webster made it clear that considering management, the commission, and the mayor, there is clearly a chance that the project will not go. They will weigh the pros and cons, he said. Staff can't predict where it will go. Again, Bennett Kessler filed this report and noted that rumors had persisted that maybe LA officials were rethinking the controversial solar ranch of 1,200 acres and 1 million solar panels across from Manzanar. Supervisor Matt Kingsley asked Webster directly how committed LADWP is to the project and if they are thinking of changes. Webster said, quote, "I don't feel comfortable commenting," end quote. Then he said, quote, "Strategic issues have to be addressed with the manager, our commission and the mayor. It will be an interesting 6 months," end quote. Now, Supervisor Jeff Griffiths said members of the public called the project a terrible idea that will ruin the Owens Valley. He said, quote, "I heard that some thought if it's too unpopular, DWP would look for another way or place. What would public reaction have to look like for you to change this?" End quote. Webster tried to sidestep that question again, and he said, quote, "Our board will look at it. It's ultimately a board decision," end quote. Now, when questioned by Sierra Wave Media and the Los Angeles Times during a break, Webster said there was clearly a chance the project would not go. Then he said that it has all the strategic advantages of the transmission line, economic development, and job training. He said no other site meets all of those needs. Will DWP take the Owens Valley people and their objections seriously? Webster said, quote, "Policymakers are struggling with the process," end quote. Now, the hint of DWP doubt about the project attracted attention in the public and on the Inyo board. Now, Webster did talk through what he called DWP's transformation on the power side. The bottom line, primarily the state mandate to generate 33% of its electricity with renewable energy sources by 2020 and the need to eliminate coal-generated power plants. Webster went on to describe several solar and wind projects that have or will soon break ground in other parts of the West and contribute to LA's power supply. He said use of the available transmission line capacity of 250 megawatts in the Owens Valley is important to DWP. He said LA generates 20% of its power with renewable energy now and the need for 13% more by 2020. Board members thank Webster for his visit and discussion. Board member Rick Pucci told the DWP man that he had never received so many comments on the project, most of them negative, said Pucci. He said he hoped the public comments were registering in relation to more than just the specific solar ranch project. Pucci said there are fears that if the people are not heard, more solar with the same problems will develop in the future. And please see our website, sierrawave.net, for more on this story, as well as another story with public comments. Well, Bennett Kessler filed this report. 8 Mammoth Town Council candidates fielded individual questions from moderator Brent Truax last Tuesday night. Some got specific in their answers and some didn't. The rules of the forum allowed candidates to pick their own topics if they had the time. Now, here are just a few examples of questions and answers. Will the town council promote a business-friendly environment? Well, Shields Richardson said, "Absolutely, I'm running on a pro-business platform." Richardson supported reaching out to attract business with recreation as a huge part of Mammoth. Okay, are single-family home rentals positive or negative? From Deb Perel. "It's multifaceted," she said. Perel said she has talked to a lot of people. She said she believes homeowners have to follow the rules and oversee a good single-family home program. She said she's pro single-family rentals, quote, "if it's done right," end quote. And next question, what are your top 3 priorities? And this from John Wentworth. First, he said, the town council needs to establish its priorities. Wentworth supported focus on public safety, public works, community development, and municipal recreation. Another question, what prompted you to run? Ken Murray said he wanted to be more involved in the community and through the company he works for, Chart House, and to bring in tourism. Also, the next question, given the $2 million annual debt, what core services and should Mammoth contract out services? Cleland Hoff. Well, she chose not to answer that, but said she would like to see a more cohesive Mammoth and would not worry about the town money situation. Another question, is customer service in Mammoth good or not? Elena Blomgren said she believes Mammoth has great customer service, but can always strive to do better. She advised looking at seasons other than winter to develop activities and attractions for Mammoth's customers. All right, the economic recovery has been fairly shaky. How do you see it stabilizing? Said Colin Fernie. Noted that Mammoth suffers from very extreme peaks and valleys. Fernie said the town needs to level off. The extremes, he said, put a strain on customer service and the economy. Fernie then chose to speak to the debt and contracting for services. He said the lawsuit payment is a line item of the budget and has to be considered as such. Fernie supported contracting for services when appropriate. He supported examining different ways to provide service. He also supported public safety, public works, municipal recreation, and community development, plus partnerships with non-governmental organizations. And also another question, what are the top 3 issues? Karen Seibert named the drought as the biggest factor. Seibert said it could go on for 10 years and the town would be lucky if it snows next year. The town council's role, she said, is to determine what to do if we can't rely on skiing. Seibert wanted to speak to the single-family rental issue. She called it really important with serious concerns on both sides of the issue. She supports good enforcement and compliance. Seibert also emphasized the need to generate more revenue with serious collection of TOT. And you can see our website for more on this story and check out the next candidates forum from the Lions Club, Saracoso College in Mammoth, and that will be on May 6th from 7 until 9 p.m. We'll be back with a weather report and the pond skim.